Hello and welcome to another video lesson. In this video, I want to teach you how you can build your vocabulary. On the entrance exam, like nursing entrance exam and other tests, you are usually tested on your vocabulary, how much vocabulary you know. And a lot of people find this very difficult to do, And usually by this time in your life, you should have learned a lot of vocabularies. But most people still have difficulty. But it's not too late, right? It's not too late. You can still learn new techniques and quick ways of building your vocabulary. So let's begin on how you can do this. Now, the first approach is to do a concentrated dictionary study, where you take the dictionary and then you go through certain words that you don't understand, and then you try to find their meanings and so on. But that can be very laborious. Okay. So it may not be the best method. The other method would be to look at words that you heard or saw on the television or heard on the radio or you saw in the magazines and so on. You can also look at those words. If they're unfamiliar to you, you can check them up in the dictionary. You can build your vocabulary that way. Then also the third method is studying new words from a course that you're taking, new course that you're taking, okay, or new subject matter that you are dealing with in college or in any school. So those are some methods that you can use. And then the fourth method, you can master a list of synonyms and antonyms. Some books have antonyms and synonyms, right? Antonyms are opposites, synonyms are words with similar meanings. You can have a list of that and then study and memorize them. The fifth one, you can study Latin, Greek, and other word elements, such as the roots. You look at the root of the word. And if you know the Latin root, the Greek roots, origin of these words, it can also help you decide on the meaning. Then you can also study word building devices, such as combining forms, prefixes and suffixes. We'll be looking at all these things as time goes on. And then the seventh method will be studying words beyond their primary and commonly accepted meanings. Okay, so each word that you take may have an extended meaning to it, which you have to, look at. So these are about 7 ways that you can build your vocabulary. But usually the first 3, not too recommended, because it can be very laborious to do that. So let's look at some of the easy ways or quicker ways you can learn your vocabulary. Now, as I said, the natural way to gain a good vocabulary is to absorb words steadily from wide reading, right? But if you don't have the time on your side, then the quicker way to increase your word power are to study 1, the root of words, 2, combining forms, 3, prefixes, 4, suffixes, 5, the synonyms, and then the 6, antonyms. These are the quicker ways you can do these things, okay? So we'll be going through each of these in the video. So to begin with, your study, it's good to invest in a good dictionary. Good dictionary, not just the pocket dictionary. Pocket dictionary will not help you out. They don't contain too much, but invest in a good dictionary. It will pay a dividend, okay? Like Oxford Dictionary, Webster Dictionary, and so on. They're very good dictionaries. Okay. And when you take the dictionary and you look at any word, right? Make sure you go beyond the primary meaning of the word. So words may have meanings beyond their primary imports, right? So general, that means a general understood and accepted meaning of the word, right? So when you look up a word, look for additional applications and meanings of the word. For example, if the children did not count, right? You say the children did not count. So let's look at that. We say the children did not count. So we look at the word count here, right? Okay. Now, if you say the children did not count, let's think about it for some few seconds. It could have two meanings here, right? The children, it means that either the children were not considered, right? They did not count. So it means that children were not considered. That's one meaning of the word, right? Now, what could it also mean? It means that the children did not order the words for numbers in series. They did not order the words for the numbers in series, right? Now they're voicing the numbers, like counting 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So two things here. So the word count has more than one meaning. So when you take the dictionary, you look for extended meaning of the general understanding of the word. Okay. So the context in which the word is used is also very important. If you have an essay, if you have like a passage and you read a passage, okay, at least you know what the passage is about and what that word refers to in that particular passage. Okay. So in your practice, if you've taken a word, look at the extended meaning of the word. So let's begin by looking at the root of words. The root of words. We analyze some words, and that can help you understand or determine the meaning of certain words that are not familiar to you. So I encourage you to learn how words are put together. When you take a word, learn how the word is put together. You should be able to recognize the elements or the building blocks, such as the roots, the prefixes. Prefixes, they come before the word and then suffixes after and at the end of the word, right? We'll also look at that in detail. But currently, for now, I want to look at the roots. So a root is part of a word that indicates its primary essential meaning, right? That's a root. Okay. It indicates its primary essential meaning. Now, what do we mean by this? Let's look at an example. Okay, let's take the word, the word VIT, bite, VIT, and also it can also be spelled VIV. So VIT and VIV, okay, right, with something at the end, all right? What does that mean? When anything with vite or viv, it means to live or life, to live or life, something life in it. Okay, so we see this in words like vital, vitamin, vivacious, vivid, revive, vivisection, vitality, and viviparous. Okay, words like this. Okay. So let's analyze this word and see. Let's take the word vital. The word vital. Now, if you see the word vital, we have VIT, right? So let's break it down and see. The VIT, what does that mean? The VIT here means life, right? So we have the VIT meaning life. Okay. And then the suffix al, the AL. What does that mean? The al here means pertaining to, So al is pertaining to something, right? So thus vital means necessary to life or full of life or pertaining to life. So we can say vital means something pertaining to life. Okay, so that's vital, pertaining to life. Or necessary to life. Okay, vital. Or full of life. Okay, someone can say full of life. Okay. So just by knowing the meaning of the suffix and the prefix, you can at least deduce what the word means, right? So vite, life, or to live, you know, and al pertaining to, okay, right. Now let's try another one. Let's take another one like, so it's two, vitamin. Now assuming I've not seen this word before, but I know the root of the word. Okay. So I see VIT. So again, if I see VIT, it's VIT here, you have vite, and amine, right? So two things. So we know that the vite, this portion means something that pertains to life, okay? Pertains to life. So a vitamin is a substance in food, either useful or necessary for normal life. So a substance in food, either useful or necessary for normal life. In human beings and animals, right? So the amine referring to like animals. Okay, vital to animals, right? Amine, vitamin. Let's analyze another word. Another word like vivacious, 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 vivacious. Let's break it down and see. VIV, right? So I'll say it has something to do with life, right? It's life. So when it's vivacious, the meaning is lively, something that's lively, lively, or active, or I can say full of life. So you can always deduce the meaning if you know the root of the word. That can help you out a lot. And a word like revive, revive. So if you take the word revive, Let's break that down and see. Revive. What would that mean? Think about that in some few seconds. All right, so if you analyze this, you see we have vive somewhere here, VIV, which pertains to life, right? And then look at the prefix. The prefix here, you have the RE, the prefix RE. So you have RE in the prefix, and the word come from VIV. So what do you think it means? Okay, this means to bring back to life. Okay, to repeat something, bring him back. To read, so bring back. Bring back to life. Or we can say to live again. So you can deduce a lot of things like that. Let's try one more. I know it's getting exciting, so let's try one more. Okay, let's look at the word viviparous. Viviparous over here. Okay, what does that mean? So let's see what this means. Okay, viviparous. Make a guess. So again, we have VIV, so something that has to do with life. And then we have the suffix here, paros. Okay, so let's analyze that. So you have life and paros. What does paros mean? When think of paros has to do with parity. Parity, see the word parity. Parity. Okay. And parity has to do with what? Giving birth. Okay, parity, birth. Something has to do with giving birth or delivery. Okay. So viviparous. Viviparous refers to animals that give birth to live animals. Okay, giving birth to live animals. Giving birth to live animals. For example, human beings, right? We give birth to life and we don't lay eggs. I give birth to live human beings. Dogs give birth to live dogs, puppies, cat, and so on. Okay, so they're viviparous. Okay, unlike birds that lay eggs, they have to hatch. That's different. Yeah, they are not viviparous. So I hope at least analyzing this helps in your understanding how root of words can be helpful. Okay. Let's look at another example here. We want to look at the roots anim, A-N-I-M, all right? Now, this word comes from the Latin word animus, animus, meaning that which blows, anything which blows like wind, or is breathed, something that is breathed in like air, right? So that's from the Latin root animus. Okay. And then in English, it means soul, life, or spirit. Life or spirit. Okay. So again, if we go back to the definition that we just said for vitamin, we say we have, no, sorry about that one. Okay, let's go on. All right. So as I said, for the English, it means soul, life, or spirit, right? Okay. Right. Some of the words that can be formed out of this will be like animate, animosity, animal, unanimous, or equanimity. Okay. So let's see how we can break this down. Assuming we don't know, we're not familiar with the words, but then we can analyze from the root if you know the root of the word. So let's look at the word animate and break it down. Animate. Okay. So this means to give life to, right? To give life to something, right? To give life to something, or to make alive. To make alive. For example, if you say something like, her appearance animated a party. Her appearance animated a party. It means that her appearance made the party come to life, right? Made the party interesting. You bring something to life. Animate. Okay. So anim right there. Let's look at another word. Animosity. Animosity. So animosity, let's break it down. What does it means? Feeling of ill will or enmity, right? Feeling of ill will or enmity. Now, formerly, this used to refer to like high spirits, right? High spirits. So yeah, like high spirits. Or like a lively spirit, you know. But now it's used to mean like a vigorous dislike. It's a vigorous dislike. So it's like you vigorously dislike somebody. Then animal, animal, like any living thing or being, right? So that'll be animal. So anything like animalistic, it means the person is behaving like an animal. Okay. Let's look at the word unanimous. Unanimous. So unanimous means of a mind, of a mind. Or agreed. Or in complete accord. Now, if you look at this, it's made up of the prefix here, which is un, which in Latin means one. All right, so un here means one. Okay, one. Then the root, which is the anim, that's a name here, which we know means spirit, mind, or heart, right? And then the suffix OUS is suffix OUS. That means having or being. Or having. Right, so if we put all together, it means that it having one mind, okay, or in complete accord. Having one mind or complete accord. So for example, in a sentence, we can say the vote for the motion was unanimous. The vote for the motion was unanimous. All right. So if you see this, you can easily analyze it, and then you know what it means in this context. You know, it means everybody agreed with the motion. So root of words, very, very helpful. Very helpful. Let's try one more on this. Using the word equanimity. Equanimity. So equanimity means composure, composure or stability or calmness, calmness. Okay, these are all meaning for the word equanimity. And it comes from the word EQU, equi, or equi. So like equal, so equi, which means even or equal. And then the anim, which we know, A-N-I-M, anim, the root anim, which we know it's something that has to do with pertaining to life, right? Something pertaining to life or spirit or mind. Okay. So if you put this together, even spirit, right? Or even mind or even heart, equal. That means the person stable, stability of the mind, stability of the heart, stability of the spirit. So the person is composed, okay, calm. For example, if you use in a sentence like the speaker listened with equanimity to cut calls and shouts from the audience. So it means that the speaker was very calm. Okay. So this is how you can break down root of words, to help you in understanding words. There are more that we can look at. So let's try some few other ones. Now let's take another root of word. So the root here will be ANNU. So let's look at this. Sometimes this can also be spelled ENNI, and that means year. It means year. So anything with annu means year. So that's where we have the word annual. Annual, annu. So that means yearly. Or occurring or returning once a year. All right. So it's from the root of the word annu plus the suffix al. It's a Latin suffix al. Okay, annu, and then the Latin suffix al. Okay. And we already know what the word al means, right? So remember the word al means what? Pertaining to something. Let's look at another meaning. If you see the word annuity, let's analyze that. Again, what we have here, annu. So it means that you have to think of something that's yearly, right? So here, annuity means a specified income payable at stated intervals, and the intervals usually being 1 year, right? That's something that has to do with 1 year. So that's a specified income paid yearly. And the third one, let's look at the word biennial. Okay. So if you look at this, you have a prefix, which is the bi. What does bi mean? Bi means 2, right? So this means 2. And then we have the root of the word ENI. Remember, that's another way of spelling the annu over here. That has to do with yearly, right? So the word biennial means that taking place in something like every 2 years. The lasting of or enduring for like 2 years. So happening or lasting or enduring for 2 years. Okay. So biennial, every 2 years. So hopefully you get what the idea of what we're talking about. I want to try another word. Let's look at the root. B-N-E, Benny. The root Benny. Now, what does the root Benny mean? It's a Latin word. The root is the Latin root. That means well. It means well, or good, or helpful. So this can be used in words like benefits. Benefits. So this comes from 2 words, the prefix, the Benny, and fit. Right, Benny and fit. And fit derives from the Latin word meaning to make. Fit comes from the word to make. Or to do. Okay. So that's the Latin root for fit. So we put the two together. So it means a benefit is an act of kindness. Act of kindness, doing something kind, right? So that would be the definition for benefit. An act of kindness or a good deed. Or anything that promotes well-being. That'd be benefits. So beneficial, so helpful, advantageous, and beneficial. Benediction. Let's look at benediction. Benediction. So diction derives from the Latin word. This diction can from the word dict. Dict is to mean say. It's the Latin. The Latin root is to say, right? Say something. And then we know that Bene, it's something that benefits, helpful, right? So benediction is a blessing, an act of blessing. An act of blessing. So you're speaking blessings on somebody. Say or speaking. Another word like benevolence. Benevolence. Okay. Bene, useful. Volent, meaning willing. The volent in Latin means some willing. The Latin root is willing. And then we know what bene means. Bene, something that is helpful. That we've seen that, okay? So if you combine the two, benevolent, then it means kindly, disposed to do good, willing to do good. Yeah. Disposed to do good. Person is willing to do good. Charitable. Person is kind. Okay. So we can keep going and going and going. Just the word Benny. Okay, like benefactor. Another example, benefactor. So you can always break it down. Think about that yourself. What do you think benefactor will mean? Benefactor. Take 30 seconds to think about it. All right, so if you look at this, we have bene, which refers to act of doing good or being helpful, and then a factor. Factor, the Latin word, like someone who does. Okay, it comes from someone who does something. Who does. Okay, so benefactor, it's someone who does good deeds. Someone who does good deeds. That's a benefactor. Okay. So I hope at least this first session of Root of Words has given you a lot of insight into what you can do if you know the meaning of the origin of the roots. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video. Bye-bye.